My experience in particular, yeah, it has been admiration from some, and then from others, this complete dismissal. Mainly because I am not what is being marketed to them per se. I'm not the typical guy. I'm not a thug. I don't have gold in my mouth. I'm not walking around talking in a broken, accent or with a huge dialect. I have a southern, twang when I do talk, and I can talk there when I get around a few friends, like, but for the most part, I talk like this, but and that turns, some of them off because it's like, oh, he or I'm looked at as, oh, that's the guy this guy settle down with later on. Right now, I'm having fun. I'll come
Really?
back to him when I'm done. So yeah. So a lot. There's been a few times. Some girls I've been in school with, where they've been talking, without they, had their fun, and then they hit me up after they, had like the two kids or whatever, or they just,
I am.
talked to I don't know how many different dudes, and then they're like, oh, well, I always liked you, I always thought you were very smart and blah blah blah. So I was just like, okay, so I was supposed to wait 10 years for you to get ready, so I'm
You
like,
know
get
what?
out of here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I mean,
No, I
no,
just
no, go
wanted
ahead,
to
go
say
ahead.
that as a person who, like my husband and I, we match people for marriage. And literally, after seeing you last time and this time, you would be a prime candidate that we would match people with. And we can't find a lot of people. And so it looks like American Black women can't see a marriage material guy in front of them.
I mean, they look at me for the most part. Actually, I've been told from a few women, they were like, "Oh, I thought you like white girls, so that's why I didn't talk to you." And I would have said nothing like, I mean, which I guess I get it, because we all look at people and we're like, oh, like, especially maybe the way I dress and whatever and stuff like that. I don't dress like the typical Black dude that they show on TV, where I got the hat turned to the side and my pants sagging all down. I'm not dressing like that. But at the same time, it's just like, well, just ask me.
I have a
Or if
question.
yeah.
I have a question. Because I haven't been in America. Do they actually believe that the thug looking guy is a good choice, or are these guys just pursuing them?
I don't think it's a matter of seeing them as a good choice or bad choice. It's really like attraction. It's almost like, your attraction instinct is sometimes disconnected from your logic, right? Like, you're not thinking like, okay, this is a really good rational choice for me. It's I think that this experience is going to make me feel good.
Okay.
Like a guy who sleeps with a stripper or something, right?
So I have another question. Are they actually attracted to the guy with the hat turned to the side and the grill and?
Yeah, it's almost like it's a thrill factor, right? Because it's just like, oh man, like this.
I am in shock.
I mean, this like in the teenage. I mean, same thing. Like, Dr. Boyce was saying, like, you look at the most younger guys and look at the girl that's wearing the super short, tiny, booty shorts and got the breasts on it. Not that I would necessarily take her home to mom, but it's just like, hey, I'm out here. That's a thrill. I'm having fun. And then for the most part, once you get like maybe to late 20s, early 30s, that's when most people that I tend to have seen so far start getting serious. So like, let me have all my fun. Let me get all the little crazy stuff out the way. Oh, okay, now it's time for me to get serious. And sorry, and I might have two kids to bring with me. So can you, be with my two kids as well? So
I can remember liking and being attracted to marriage quality men since I was like 4 years old. I can remember not even wanting to sit next to adult males who looked like they were problems since I was like 4 years old. I'm kind of wondering. I mean, I'm not kind of wondering. I know that this has some kind of connection to not having a father in the home. We often forget that, although statistics say 78% of Black Americans grew up with no father in the home, even most fathers that were in the home were ran by the women in there. So a lot of us are just totally confused by that. I could never be attracted to a male that my father was repulsed by.
Well, in the media, and I'll say this, and I'll let somebody else speak. Which you all are right. Like, we need to turn the TV off more, but in media, it's more so marketed. Like, the people like myself or like Dr. Boyce, we aren't, or scientists or doctors or lawyers, Black, people in these positions. They aren't marketed as, oh, this is what you should, look up to strive for. It's more so of the ballers or the thugs and stuff like this. So that's what's marketed as, oh man, that's what you should get. So that's why with hip hop, it's more so of the guys that are the thugs, the dangerous and stuff like that. And we are a part of that problem because we keep promoting that as well. But, that's what's marketed out there. So for a person like me, not saying that there aren't women who aren't attracted to me, but a good portion of the women aren't per se until much later. It's just like, oh, okay, now I'm ready to talk to you because I've tried all these guys. It didn't work. Okay, I guess I'll call John. He can. I know he'll take care of me.
Well, let me wait. Give me one second, Ro. Let me show you something. This gives you an example of what I think John is talking about. Now this shows how far back the tradition goes of celebrating the thug culture and the rapper culture. Women tend to be, not all women, but a lot of women like men with money, status, and power. So one of the ways that the black woman, unfortunately, many black women are trained to chase the gangster thug persona is by who they glorify, who they choose to promote. So if you are a black college professor and you're trying to get on TV, it's going to be much harder for you to get on media than if you are a black man who raps about killing black people, right? So this goes back. I like this list because it's a list of the richest rappers in America. And it's also guys that are not, these are not 18-year-olds. These guys are 40, 50, some of them are over the age of 50. But this shows it goes back 25, 30 years. Diddy got his start in the 90s. Dr. Dre got to start in the 90s. Birdman, all these guys have been around except for Drake. He's maybe about 34, 35 years old, maybe a little younger. I can't remember. But the point is, if you look at this, right, this shows that these guys are all making millions and millions of dollars. There's Jay-Z in there. Every single one of these guys except Drake started off as a thug, as a street guy, as a gangster. That was the thing, right? And now Drake wasn't a gangster, but Drake, he spends a lot of time rapping in the hood, about the hood, utilizing hood culture. He's the Degrassi guy who just learned how to imitate. He learns how to play a character, right? And then if you go to, like I said, a younger generation, I'll switch to another image. It's only gotten worse over time, right? That rapper is Young Thug. Young Thug is a guy who, he's mentally ill. He comes to me, and he's not just the only one. I mean, there's a lot of guys that do the same thing, and it's this really, when you see this, which is really kind of sad, is you don't see something that says, okay, this guy's going to be a great father to your kids, or this guy is not going to give you an STD, because some of the rappers love to brag about how they've had sex with 1,000 women in the last 6 or 7 months or whatever. He doesn't come off to me as a guy that's going to bring peace and good things to your life. But a lot of young girls, because they don't have a father in the home, they don't have the father there to kind of show them what a solid black man looks like. Many of them admire these men, like they are attracted to these men. They want to lay down with these men. And as a father, it's very hard for me, because I know what that comes with. I don't judge that, but I know thugs. I know guys that will bring all kinds of rain hell onto your life. And so for me, it becomes very frustrating to see the cycle where you want to run off and go get pregnant with a thug, but then you want me to feel sorry for you when all that shit falls apart.